How's it going, guys? We are back with another video here, and this video is basically my top 10 legends I want to see in NHL 22 hockey ultimate team. Okay, so basically comes down to, there's some people I'm going to mention right now that are not on this list due to the reason of them not possibly being added at all, because there's just some limits, right? Like someone like Jágr can't be added to the game, unfortunately, because he's still playing in another league. Same thing with Pavel Datsyuk. You can't use them. It's not possible. They have the rights to another league, and that the league is on the NHL 21 or 22 game. We don't think, at least. But without further ado, guys, we're gonna have a nice little top 10. No order, by the way. No order. It's gonna just be top 10. All right. So starting off with number 10. Here you go. And number 10 is Ron Francis. Okay, so Ron Francis is a good one in my opinion. Ron Francis, great career. I mean, very, 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 very good career, actually. He had 1,700 points. Of course, he played a stunning amount of games, but he remained point per game over his whole career. That is extremely, extremely good. Yeah, I would say that definitely Ron Francis is a man that he does deserve to be in NHL. I mean, he's a really, really good player. Now he's a GM of the Kraken, right? So I don't see why not. All right, that's number 10 for me. Guys, let's see number 9. Number 9 is Pierre Turgeon. So he's another really, really, again, a lot of these players I never watched play, so a lot of you guys are probably going to know more, than me, of course, about him. But Pierre Turgeon had a great career as well, of course. 1,300 points, 1,294 games played. I would consider him, I would say he's a legend, but he's definitely, a really good player in his time. And I'm sure a lot of older, people would enjoy seeing him in the game as well. I mean, I don't have a problem with him adding in people I don't even know, because, I mean, it's so cool. It makes me learn about them more as well. So, yeah, Pierre Turgeon's a great option as well. He had a good rookie season, and then yeah, I mean he really picked it up. He really picked it up, and yeah, he had a really strong career in the end with the amount of points. And yeah, I mean, you got to respect him for sure. I mean, definitely a good player. Bounced around a lot of teams, but that's how it goes, right? That's number 9 though, guys. Let's move on to number 8. And for number 8, we have Phil Esposito. Honestly, one of my dad's favorite players growing up. So, yeah, Phil Esposito is an unbelievable player. Great career. A very underrated one, I feel like people don't really talk about him enough. But he had some stunningly good seasons. Look at this. Phil Esposito with 152 points in one season. That is absolutely crazy, is all I can say. Absolutely crazy. And, yeah, I mean, I got to say that I really do think that Phil Esposito should be in the game. I mean, there's really no question on that one to me. Phil Esposito is a tremendous player, all right? So, yeah, that'll do it for Phil Esposito. I mean, he, again, great Bruin. Of course, went to the Rangers towards the end of his career, but, I mean, he's a Bruins great, really. That's kind of where he, got it going for sure. But, yeah, let's move on to the next one, guys. Then we have our next one, number 7, Sergei Fedorov. He was an unbelievable player. I actually watched him a little bit towards the end of his career. I mean, that's when I really started getting into hockey. Yeah, like 08, 09. That's kind of when I started. I saw him playing against the Rangers in that playoff series. But, yeah, Sergei Fedorov was a cool player for sure as well. Of course, started off the Red Wings. I mean, that's pretty much where he played most of his career, right? But, yeah, he had a really good career. 1,100 points. I mean, he was a cool player to watch. And, yeah, Sergei Fedorov is an awesome player for sure. And, yeah, I mean, definitely a player that, should be in NHL. I truly do believe that. And let's move on to number 6. Number 6, I mean, this should be a guy that he was in the game before. He was in NHL 18, I know for sure. He might have been in NHL 17 as well. I don't remember. I know he was in 18 for sure. I don't know if he was in a game before that as well. But, yeah, he's someone that definitely should be in the game. Dominik Hasek, I mean, he's really, people think he's the best goalie of all time, right? So, I mean, if that many people think that, I think he's got to be in the game. I mean, if people really think he's the best goalie of all time, it really makes no sense to not be in the game. I mean, what a career. He finally got a cup with the Red Wings late in his career, but heck of a player for sure. Really, really, really good stuff. He just didn't have some good teams in front of him in Buffalo at first, but in the end, he had a really, really strong career. Played until he was 43. That's pretty wild, actually. Think about, actually got 2 cups, I'm thinking, right? Yeah, 02 with the Red Wings and 08 with the Red Wings. That's pretty wild, actually. Unless they traded him or something, but I believe he definitely won the cup with them. But yeah, I mean, really, really, really good career, and you can't be mad with that if you're Hasek. So, moving on to the next one. Who we got? Another player that should be a no-brainer, that should be in the game, in my opinion, is Daniel Alfredsson. Daniel Alfredsson is an unbelievable player. Of course, a Senators legend. I'm sure most people would love to see him in the game, especially Senators fans. I mean, I'm not a Senators fan. I would love to see him in the game. So, I mean, what does that really tell you? I think he's a really, really fun player to watch. I mean, of course, in his prime. And, you know, it'd be great for the Senators fans for sure. I think Alfredsson is an all-time great. Like, I don't know. When you think about, you know, some of those Senators teams, I mean, Alfredsson's the first person that comes to mind, of course. And, yeah, I mean, I think you should try to at least get the best player of all time from each NHL team in the game. That'd be a really ideal thing, in my opinion. But Alfredsson definitely fits that. And Alfredsson is on my list for sure that people want to see in NHL 22. All right, so let's move on to the next person. Then we have Mike Bossy. I was stunned looking at his stats to see actually how good of a career he had. I knew he's an amazing goal scorer. He's scoring like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, didn't he have like the season where he scored like 50 goals in like 30 games or something crazy or whatever? Or whatever it was. Yeah, he scored 69 goals in 80 games this season. That's ridiculous. You don't want to talk about a pure goal scorer. He was scoring almost 70 goals a year. Like, what are we doing here? He scored 60 goals in one... Oh, no, he didn't score that year. But he scored 60 goals how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times he scored 60 goals. That's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane right there. So, yeah, I mean, pretty ridiculous. I mean, pretty ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, he probably would have honestly challenged Gretzky's record if he stayed healthy. Like, he retired at 30 years old. That's sad. That's really, really sad to see. Like, who knows? He could have potentially broke his record. I mean, he was 30 years old. Think about that. 30 years old when this happened. He was at 573 goals already. Think about it. If he played another 10 years, he would have easily broken it. But, I mean, listen, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to keep up that pace, and it's hard to stay healthy, and that's why Gretzky's so impressive, right? But there you go. That's Mike Bossy. All right, let's move on to the next person. All right, my guy, Scott Stevens. I know some of you will hate him because he was pretty dirty back in the day. I'm not going to lie. Listen. As a Devils fan, I can recognize he was a pretty dirty player, but you know what? That's just how hockey was at that time. I mean, of course, if he did that these days, he would have been suspended, like probably thrown out of the league, but that's just how it was, right? So, I mean, you can't really fault him for playing a style that was allowed back then. And I'm sure a lot of people play like he used to, right? I mean, it was just more of like he was accepted, I guess, right? Okay, so Scott Stevens, right? Well, he was the most famous one I meant to say. Unbelievable, 908 points, 1,600 games played. Yeah, I mean, fantastic career, of course. I mean, you really got to respect him. But of course, he just simply didn't have anything left in his last year. 38 games played. He was really, really banged up. But other than that, I mean, what a career. I mean, just a spectacular career. One of my favorite players for sure. You know, looking back on Devils history, I never watched him, of course, but he should be in the game. A lot of Devils fans will love him, and a lot of people in general will love him. All right, let's move on to the next player. And another player that people have been requesting for years and years and years and years. Player that definitely should be in the game, Paul Kariya. You know, everyone thinks of on the floor, on the board. That's just iconic. That's an iconic moment in hockey history. And someone like that's a part of hockey history, should be in the NHL video game, in my opinion. In the Hall of Fame, of course. So, I mean, I don't really see how you could argue against it. He's in the Hall of Fame. Great player, of course. I mean, another one I just couldn't stay healthy. Literally point per game player. 989 games played. You got to respect that. Yeah, just a really, really lights out player. Just couldn't stay healthy, unfortunately, you know, towards the end of his career, right? But in general, I mean, just a really strong career for him. I mean, Paul Kariya, I mean, a very spectacular player in his prime, and I think a player that really, really does deserve to be in the game, all right? So let's move on to the final person I think should be in NHL 22 as a legend, all right? I'll see you guys in a second. I mean, you had to guess, right? I mean, if I didn't say his name by now, you just had to guess, all right? Bobby Orr, guys. I mean, come on. Come on. People think he's the best defenseman of all time, and you could definitely make that case. One thing I'm going to mention before I keep going, but I apologize for these ads popping up. I don't know why so many are popping up. I do have ad block on, but regardless, yeah, Bobby Orr is an unbelievable player, of course. I mean, these numbers are actually staggering and startling to look at. He had 120 points as a defenseman, 139 points as a defenseman, I should say, 102 assists in a year, 37 goals he was scoring. He scored 46 goals in 74-75. How absolutely ridiculous is that? And even when he was hurt, he was still finding a way, you know, to play. I mean, like, and still produce. That's the crazy part. What team is this? Unless I'm stupid. What team is this? Oh my god, it's always ads all the time. Oh, it's the Blackhawks. I don't know why they're called like that. That looks like weird. Probably it's just Chicago. But regardless, that's Bobby Orr. To me, that's the top 10 legends that should be in NHL 22. Or at least, you know, hopefully sometime in the near future. I think they got a lot of legends in NHL right now. I'm not going to lie. They have a lot of good ones. Lindros, of course, Gretzky, Lemieux. You know, most of the good ones they do have. Yzerman, of course. But there's always more they can add to, and hopefully these guys sign with the NHLPA, because that would be the easiest way for them to get in the game, alright? So, hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know who you want to see. Let me know who I missed, of course. I'm definitely excited to see if, you know, you have any different opinions. I mean, for me, maybe I'd like to see Patrick Elias. I know Elias is not on the tier of these players, probably. That's why I didn't include him in here. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new here. Follow me on Twitch, Henrique, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Henrique with 3 E's. Join the Discord to talk to me, followers and subscribers of the channel. Remember to use code Henrique for 10% off your G Fuel orders. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.